Hello students, welcome to this video. And in this video, we are going to look at chapter 29 of The Edible Woman written by Margaret Atwood. But before we go on to chapter 29, let us see what happens in chapter 28. In chapter 28, Marian and Duncan consummate their relationship. So they have a physical relationship. But before that, Marian has actually escaped from the party. She reaches the laundromat. She accepts Duncan's invitation. Duncan is a bit surprised. She accepts Duncan's invitation, and they find they think of a place where they can spend the night together. And finally, they decide on a hotel. But the trouble is that when Marian comes out of the laundromat, she feels that she's shocked to see that she doesn't have any money with her. So she's depressed, and what happens is Duncan digs into his pockets and takes out all the change that he has, and then they say that okay, we can find a reasonably good hotel, a reasonably okay hotel, and finally they find a hotel. So that journey is described actually. So there are two things that you should be clear about. Marian's escape from Peter's apartment and coming to the laundromat is done by foot. So, and from here, from the laundromat to the hotel, also they walk. Okay, that is why she keeps on saying I don't know what time it is. It is taking a long time, and Duncan doesn't have the habit of putting on a watch. That's why he asks Marian for the time, and she has kept the watch. She has not worn the watch because it will not. It will disturb with the the total effect. That's what Ainsley said. So Ainsley oda suggestion la our watch போட்டுக்காம இருக்கா. Okay, I think I mentioned it somewhere here. So she doesn't have a watch, she doesn't have money, and she has to depend on Duncan, but that's fine. They finally see so this is where I've said that so they finally see a hotel. I mean, we saw all the hotels, the options that they had. And what happens is finally, actually at the Victor and Albert Hotel, it's a bit, Marian has a very strange experience where the night clerk looks at her in a very, as if she were a woman of low morals. So she acts the part. Okay. So, and then they go to the room, and Duncan is distracted and Marian is paralyzed. He's distracted. He looks at the ashtray. He looks at all that. That's what he looks at. But then finally, they consummate their relationship, and this is where chapter 28 got over. So we're going to look at chapter 29, which is a continuation. So we look at what is going to happen the next morning. Okay. So it is the next morning, and we learn later in the chapter that it's a Saturday. Okay. So the party that took place in chapter 27, Peter has the party, is having the party on a Friday evening. Okay, so we'll talk about the timeline later. Don't worry. So the next morning, Duncan and Marian wake up, and Duncan looks tired. So Marian says, look, you don't look, you look tired, and your eyes are heavily circled, and your hair is looking like a it's very tousled hair. There is Kalanjar hair, Duncan hair. Okay, so Marian Baka, you look terrible. You don't look all right. So both look tired, and then they wake up, and Duncan immediately says that he's hungry. He declares that he's hungry, and then what happens is actually Marian has looked around the room. She has woken up before Duncan, but room the room looks even dirtier and even worse than what it looked the previous night. In daylight, it looked dirtier, and it looked correct $4 a night. ஒரு நாளைக்கு ஒரு ராத்திரிக்கு $4 உள்ள ஹோட்டலோட ரேஞ்சில தான் இருக்கு. The hotel did not look all right at all. The room looked very shabby. But anyway, so Marian actually feels okay because she feels that she has helped Duncan in accomplishing something. Finally, he knows that he is not a latent homosexual. That's what Marian thinks. But she is in for a rude shock later in the chapter. So don't just wait for Duncan's statement later. So they go to a coffee shop near the hotel, which is an okay coffee shop. It's all right. I mean, it's not one of the hi-fi coffee shops that you can think of, like in the Park Plaza. But It's an okay coffee shop. People have already had breakfast, so it is late in the morning. Adum clear. So what Duncan does is he sits in the coffee shop, he counts the money, and Marian looks at the menu is kept there. It looks very, again, it's not a very, the menu has been used multiple times. And the table has not been cleaned. So the table is littered with plates, cups, etc. Okay. So already some travelers, some people have come. They have come and they have eaten breakfast and it has not been cleared. So waitress one day, she clears it up. And Marian realizes when she looks at the menu and when she looks at the surroundings that she can't eat anything. Not because it's a shabby coffee shop, but because coffee shop but because her body has totally cut itself off. That is, her aversion to food has come a full circle. Okay, so aversion towards food now so when she looks at the menu, she the list bacon and eggs again is pig meat. Okay, it's pork. Okay, then she thought, okay, I'll take toast, and then suddenly she closed the menu. She doesn't want to. So Duncan says, what is wrong? And then she says, no, I think my body is totally cut itself off from I cannot eat anything anymore. Okay, so what Duncan orders is he orders ham and eggs. Ham again is a part of the pig. Okay, and in fact, what happens is when she sees Duncan eating, Duncan eats very voraciously because he says he's hungry. And when in the process of eating, she notices that what Duncan does is he takes out the eggs வந்து அவர் வந்து பீட் பண்ணி அதை உடைக்கிறாரு. உடைச்ச உடனே அந்த எக்ஸ்ல இருந்து வர அந்த எல்லோ இதை பார்க்கும்பொழுது the yellow middle that comes out, the yellow center, when it ran out on the plate, Marian is disgusted. So Marian has, she has come a full circle. Her body cannot take food anymore. That is very, very clear. Okay, so yeah, so this is nothing to laugh about, but still, poor thing. Now she cannot eat anything. That is very, very clear. He's not able to tolerate seeing that yellow fluid coming out of the eggs, which is a very normal thing, So anyway, so Duncan, in a matter of fact manner, what is matter of fact? Bye. That is matter of fact manner. So, you don't, it's like, nothing has happened and all that. That's how Duncan treats it. Although they've made a serious commitment towards each other by having a physical relationship. So here Duncan, in a matter of fact manner, he says, okay, I'll leave you here. I want to work on he says, thanks for everything. I got to go home. I want to work on my term paper. And Marian does not want him to leave. She says, no, I can't go back to my apartment, to my room. And then, so Duncan, he says, look, I don't think you are an escape anymore. I can't spend so much time with you. That is, what he means by this is Marian's purpose is over. So this is what he means. Marian's purpose as an escape is over. So you can interpret it also as, Marian is no longer needed for Duncan. Mari or interpretation, but in the last two chapters, things will arrange themselves in a more favorable manner towards Marian. Okay, but he agrees to be with her. So he says, escape. I don't want to depend on you for anything because you are no longer an escape. Your purpose is over. Thanks for all that you have given me. And so he says, but then he agrees to Marian's request of spending some more time with her. He says, okay, let's not go back. But I don't want to go to my flat. So let us spend some time walking. Okay. So what he does is he starts walking. They start walking along the streets. It is Saturday. So most of the ladies have come out for shopping. And since it is very cold, remember we are still in the middle of March. When does it, Vasanta Ritu, that is what we call a spring, when does it start? Correct? May 1 தேதி ஆரம்பிக்கும். அதனால May 1 தேதி is a holiday for them. It is the start of spring. சம்மர்ங்கிறது எப்போ ஆரம்பிக்கும்னா officially June 15th. Officially June 15th. June, mid-June, end of June குள்ள ஆரம்பிச்சிடும் உங்களுக்கு. ஓகே, ஜூன், ஜூலை, ஆகஸ்ட் 15th அவங்களுக்கு சம்மர் ஹாலிடேஸ் முடிஞ்சிடும். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஹவு திங்ஸ் ஆர். யூரோப் பத்தி பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன். யூரோப் அண்ட் வெஸ்டர்ன் கண்ட்ரீஸ், நார்த் அமெரிக்கால யூஎஸ் அண்ட் கனடா, யூஎஸ், கனடா, வெஸ்டர்ன் யூரோப், ஈஸ்டர்ன் யூரோப் வரைக்கும், ரஷ்யா வரைக்கும் நீங்க அதை பார்க்கலாம். கசாகிஸ்தான் கொஞ்சம் சவுத்துக்கு வந்துட்டீங்கன்னா லைக் ஆப்கானிஸ்தான் எக்ஸெட்ரா, இட் வில் பி ஆல்மோஸ்ட் சிமிலர் டு வாட் வி ஆர் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்சிங். ஒன்லி திங் in North India and in Afghanistan, other places, it will not be, it will not be hot during winter, during December and November, December, January. It will be cold. Okay, so it is Saturday and ladies have come out for shopping and they are wearing all these fur coats. Okay, so and they are going for this Saturday shopping because Saturdays are important for them. அவங்க போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. And Duncan, they walk for nearly 20 minutes. They don't know where they are going. Okay, so Marian leaves it to Duncan to decide where he is going. Duncan says, "Lila, நம்ம வேற எங்கயாவது போலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு." So after walking for 20 minutes, they take actually they have taken a subway and then they take a streetcar and they go in the sense Duncan takes Marian to a place where they have a conversation. So Duncan and Marian walk for nearly 20 minutes and then they take a subway first and then a streetcar. Streetcar is what we understand as tram. Okay. And now there are no trams in India. The last tram was in tram service was offered in Calcutta. Now there is only, if I'm right, Calcutta la kuda they are only offering it as a joyride. Okay, that is ஒரு 2-3 கிலோமீட்டருக்கு மட்டும் ஆஃபர் பண்றாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Tramல இருந்து இறங்கிட்டு, ஸ்ட்ரீட் கார்ல இருந்து இறங்கிட்டு they walk. So Marian doesn't know where she is going. So ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரீட் வழியா போறாங்க where 1 or 2 people are there shoveling the snow that had fallen, So and then they go down a steep hill and suddenly Duncan starts running. Okay, and then he declares that we are escaping. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு he starts running. So Marian runs behind him. So Marian has no choice. She runs behind him. Okay, and she's almost exhausted by the time they stop for a break. So they reach a footbridge, okay, and then they cross the bridge and they start walking below the bridge. So Marian she realizes that they were walking in a ravine. Now, what's a ravine? I'll just show you what this ravine is. And remember, there are a lot of ravines in Toronto, in the city, and she remembers that there is one ravine near her room also. Okay, actually Marian wanted to sit down because she is very tired, but then Duncan keeps on walking. He keeps on walking. There is a walking path. Okay, actually it's a bridle path. I'll show you what a bridle path is and bridle path is, sorry, and what what a ravine is in Toronto. I'll just show you an image so that you understand it better. So we have here an image of the ravine system in Toronto, and we are talking about Toronto because although Margaret Atwood has not named the city, we are talking about Toronto. We are talking about, and in fact, even in chapter 28, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா Ontario Towers அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஹோட்டல் பத்தி பேசும்பொழுது Ontario is Toronto is the capital of Ontario province. So ravine na இது மாதிரி, that is a deep valley. A valley in which usually there is a river or or a water body. Okay, usually a river. So in the let us assume that Duncan and so Duncan and Marian would be walking here along the banks of the ravine, and there will be bridges along the ravine to connect. And I'll give you another example. This is a better example because you have the skyline of, not the skyline exactly, some buildings. But unfortunately, even Duncan complains that people are putting rubbish into such water systems. Okay, so another. Yeah, so there we have the bridge and there we have the walkway. So in the 1960s, maybe certain ravines walkway kattam irundhirupanga nenikiren. So that is a ravine, and I'll show you what a bridle path is. Okay. So this is what we mean by a bridle path. That is a path in which only horses can walk. Okay. Now it is being used as a walkway. In present times, it's being used as a walkway. Okay. So they walk. So they walk along this bridle path, and then Duncan says that he likes it here in winter, and he comes here quite often. And again, you come across his opinion about vegetation and other things. See, he in summer there are green leaves, there is too much of vegetation, and he doesn't like it there. He describes the place, and he describes the place, this place, and he likes it better in winter. Okay, so this description takes place in page number 330. If you want to check about his philosophy of vegetation and why he does not like too much of vegetation, please check pages 174 and 175, chapter 16. Anyway, so that is when Marian had gone to give her clothes for ironing, and that's when he, espouses this philosophy. He tells her about this philosophy. So they were walking along this bridle paths, and then they reach a cliff. Okay, on the cliff ஓட எட்ஜில் போயிட்டு இவர் உட்கார்றார். Duncan sits and he hung his legs down. Now Marian is very disturbed because of this, because she feels that that edge is going to fall down. Okay, so she also sits there for some time, and she sees something there. She sees a long building, which Duncan says are the brickworks. So Duncan points out that actually those are the brickworks. They use the clay from the ravine to prepare bricks, and in fact, in one of the ravines there is a prison. There is a prison in one of the ravines, and that is not here, of course. So Marian does not like this brick building, because this shed-like building, because she feels that the clay is being exploited. So Duncan, what he does, he gets up, he walks on the edge, கொஞ்சம் தூரம் போயிட்டு அந்த கிளிஃப்லயே இருக்காங்க. He lies down on the snow, and so Marian is a bit apprehensive, because she doesn't want to catch a cold. In fact, Duncan warns her about that. Cold எதாவது பிடிச்சிட்டு போறதுன்ட்டு. And but Marian lay down beside him. Let's not forget that Marian technically, plan prakaram போயிருந்தாங்கன்னா, Marian would have been on her way back to her hometown. After spending after the party with Peter, she would have come back home, rested, early morning, bus பிடிச்சு அவங்க ஹோம்டவுனுக்கு போயிருப்பாங்க. But that has not happened. So Marian lay down beside him, and they continue talking. So Duncan wonders why she can't go back to her room. And anyway, she's going to eventually get married. Go back to her room and go back to Peter. That's the entire discussion here. And then Marian says that and Duncan says, look, you are going to get married, and it's better you go back. And Duncan then he says, look, it is in your mind. So Marian wonders, how do I get it out? There is some problem that I have. I'm not able to eat. I'm not able to go back to my room. So how do I get it back? And then she herself, how do I get it out? So she herself makes a self-suggestion. She says, maybe I should see a psychiatrist. Duncan warns her, look, what a psychiatrist will do is merely adjust your behavior. We have seen this adjustment of behavior already in when she was in chapter 23, when she wanted to discuss this with her food aversion with Ainsley, and Ainsley would have suggested behaviorism and all that. But anyway, let's come back to this. So then Marian says, no, I want to be adjusted. I want to lead a normal life, and I want to start eating again properly, and eating regular food. So then Marian looks back at the past few months. So they are sailing for some time, and she doesn't find any point in starving to death. In fact, she hadn't gotten anywhere. She feels that there is no accomplishment that she has. There's nothing she has achieved. The only thing she has achieved is in the past few months is Duncan, because she has gone through a lot. She has stopped eating. She has not had the best of relations with Peter. She thought she was happy with Peter, but she was not. So all these things. And then, இது ஒரு அச்சீவ்மெண்ட் தான் எனக்கு இருக்கு இந்த 4-5 மாசமா. So she wants to confirm if Duncan feels the same, and she asks how they experienced the previous, about his experience the previous night. So Duncan takes some time to recollect and then about what அப்படின்னு கேட்கிறான். So அதுலயே கொஞ்சம் மேரியன் கொஞ்சம் இதாயிடுறா. And then he continues talking about the place instead of answering her question. So Marian is puzzled. என்னடா அது நம்ம கேள்வி என்ன கேட்டோம்? What is the question that we asked? How was the experience last night, the previous night? And he is talking about something else. And then Duncan gives a very shocking answer. He says, look, you want me to call it, I'll just paraphrase what he says in page 333. Again, a very important scene in the novel, a turning point in the novel, I would say. Okay, you want me to say it was stupendous, don't you? He asked. That it got me out of my shell, hatched me into manhood, solved all my problems. But that's the answer that you expected from me. Well, Marian, look, I allowed you to participate in my fantasy life up to a point. And then he concludes, he says, it was fine, just as good as usual. Now, when she hears this, Marian is totally devastated. I mean, naturally, because what she says is she compares it to the destruction of an image. She had been thinking that she was, like a nurse to Duncan. She had been, helping him. And this nurse image gets off Marian, nursing Duncan to health or nursing Duncan to manhood gets destroyed. So obviously she is her physical, the image that she had built about herself, self-image of that of a nurse is totally shattered, and she is she's devastated, but she doesn't reveal it there. Okay, so and there is one more point that is revealed, that Marian is not the first woman in Duncan's life. Okay, so he had been sort of being fraudulent. So he had been not quite honest with her. Okay, not the first woman in Duncan's life. So this also we discover from this statement. This statement is very makes things very clear. Marian should have been devastated with this statement of Duncan, but then she realizes that her relationship with Duncan and Marian's relationship had been a fraudulent one. It has not been a correct relationship. So she says, okay, it's not absolutely correct for me to call it a proper relationship. Okay, so this, she thinks about this, and then she says, okay, maybe it's your joke. Sorry, I have to decide what to do. And then, so Duncan says, look, you will have to think of your own way out. I cannot help you in that. No, see, so Duncan is trying to, he's not removing Marian from his life totally, but he says, look, certain decisions you have to make. So Marian, she says that she wants Duncan to come and talk to Peter, and she cannot do it on her own. Look, I'm having a relationship with you, so it's better you come and talk. And then Duncan says, look, it would be disastrous. This is the second or third time that this statement is being made. First, chapter 21, now Marian says that Marian thinks that if Duncan and Peter meet, it would be disastrous for both of them, both for Duncan and Peter. Again in chapter 27, when Marian wants Duncan to meet Peter, உள்ள வந்து பாரு அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது அப்பவும் இல்ல வேணாங்கிறாரு. And now Duncan himself, Duncan again says this the second time. He says, no, I cannot meet Peter because it would be disastrous. So Duncan decides to stay there for a while. He shows Marian the way out of this ravine. இப்படி போ அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ரோடு வரைக்கும் போய் காட்டிடுறாரு. Marian walks along the road and to catch a streetcar, to catch a subway. She sees the streetcar going there. So she knows that she's going to go back to her room, and but just for a moment she looks back and she notices that Duncan was still at the same spot. So we are assuming that Marian saw Duncan, and then she took a subway car and she's going home. So the next chapter we are going to see how the next two chapters we are going to see how the novel is going to come to an end. So people go through chapter 29. Chapter 29 ends here. Marian and Duncan part their ways, but they are going to come back again. So and see how things work out for both of them. And so two more chapters. And then we say goodbye to this novel.